When I was thinking of what to do for this speech, I immediately knew what I wanted to talk about: growth. Over the years, I believe that I have grown positively so much as a person. Most people are probably assuming that I'm doing the speech over cheerleading and how cheerleading specifically has made this impact on me. Although this is something that I've loved for years and it has made such a huge impact on my life, that experience isn't what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share my journey of learning to love myself and how I found my own genuine happiness. What I feel most passionate about is self-love and self-confidence. People ask me all the time, "Callie, how are you so confident?" And if you know me, or if you think you know me, you probably think that I'm this confident person that doesn't care at all what other people have to say about me. But that honestly wasn't completely true until the past couple of years. 2 years ago, I thought I had it all figured out. I really did think that I loved myself and had all this self-confidence, but in reality, I would always be putting on this mask that I was so confident because that's how I wanted people to view me. I didn't want to be viewed as weak, so I would constantly be suppressing any feelings of that sort instead of going through these hard situations and learning from them. I was giving people this false perception of who I really was. I was stuck. It was until around my sophomore year, mainly most of my junior year, when everything started to change. For example, I was going through some issues with a person close to me, and when my relationship with that person started to fade, I was a wreck. It was so hard for me to keep these feelings inside, so without even realizing it, I started to distance myself from all of the other people in my life because I didn't want them to see that vulnerable side of me. I thought they would think differently of me and judge me for it, so I just pushed them away. I was coming to my breaking point, and I couldn't hold these feelings in any longer. I was so focused on why this one person and I started to drift apart and whatever I thought I had done wrong in this situation. When I was overthinking all of this, that's when I realized that I truly didn't love myself the way that I should. I knew this because if I really did, the situation or any of these negative situations wouldn't have been affecting me in the way that they were. Getting that feeling and finally coming face to face with reality, I'll admit, was hard for me at first, but that's when I decided that I need to make a change. I needed to stop caring about people who weren't right for me and who were hindering my own personal happiness, even when it was unintentional on their side. I realized that the way that other people live their lives is not always going to be the same as the way that I want to live mine, and I realized that that's okay. Everyone is fighting their own battles, and I quickly realized that it's not my job to try and fix other people's. It was hard to come to terms with the fact that everyone I'm ever going to meet in my life is not going to stay in it forever, but I realized that everybody that comes into your life is there for a purpose. They teach you more about yourself, and they help you grow. My biggest mistake was relying on other people for my own personal happiness when I wasn't genuinely happy alone. I started to stop relying on these people, and I stopped putting the blame on myself when things didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to. Once I made this change and became genuinely happy with myself, I started to surround myself with all of the people that I had pushed away in the beginning, the people who truly do love and care about me. Looking back, there was a huge shift between the years. Once I started doing things for myself, focusing on myself, and becoming the best version of myself possible, being around others felt so much easier. I didn't have this constant pressure to be relying on other people for happiness, and I didn't feel like I had to be hanging out with people to be happy. Over this time of bettering myself, I realized my worth and what I deserve, and it wasn't to be feeling the way that I was. Happiness is a trait that I so badly wanted to attain, and I was trying so hard to do it, so in return, I was actually making myself more and more unhappy. Looking back, I wouldn't change any of these negative experiences that had happened to me, even though I will admit they were rough at the time, because I've only grown each and every time into a much stronger and genuinely happy person. I could sit here and be upset that everyone I've ever met is not still in my life anymore, but I just don't have it in my heart to do that. It's all about the perspective you have and what you learn from situations like that, not holding grudges. Holding grudges forces you to hold on to unnecessary negativity, and in return, it doesn't allow you to grow. I now know who to give my attention to and who to just let go. With my experience of gaining self-love, I've become a much more confident person. While most people will view this as a good thing, there are always those people that are going to bring you down for it. It's the people who don't genuinely love themselves, or they have hate in their heart and they don't want to see other people happy. These people do not hurt me like I'll admit they used to, because now I know who I truly am as a person. I have the confidence that I'm growing and learning every single day, and I choose to focus on myself rather than others' opinions of me. If you take anything from this speech, I hope you get rid of anything that is hindering your own personal happiness and that you invest in the people who invest in you. Be thankful for the people who genuinely care about you, and be thankful for the people that will stick by your side through the good times and the bad. And don't ever feel bad for knowing what you deserve and what you're worth. I'll be honest, it does take time to find genuine happiness. I mean, it took me about 16 years, but when you do, I can promise you you'll be living a much happier and mentally healthy life. It's okay to be selfish and to focus on yourself sometimes, because that's the best way to grow into the incredible person that you're meant to be. It's not easy and it's not going to happen overnight, but make yourself a priority and start the love with yourself. Thank you.